I think him holding or being a key part in holding Curry to 12 points might even be more valuable than him scoring like 15. Because not letting Curry get off, bro. And you know how that is. When Curry gets off, that changes everything, bro. Now you gotta start playing him differently. Now he starts finding the wide open man, and people just feed off of Curry when he starts to get hot. So I couldn't find anyone that was like a someone who didn't step up for Phoenix.
Today I'm the best co-host in the world. I am the man from
Suns won 104 to 96. And I don't know if either one of these teams is playing tonight, Phoenix or Golden State. Do you know if either one's playing tonight?
Uh, from what I'm seeing right now, no Hornets, Bucks. Da, da, da. Nah, they're not playing tonight.
All right. So basically, Phoenix won that game, and they pretty much leapfrog Golden State now. They're first in the West. Golden State's good little run is number one. For the meantime, is come to an end, and Phoenix now has won 17 games in a row, tying, I think it was tying the franchise record, right?
Yeah.
They mentioned it during the game. It was the 06-07 Phoenix Suns that set that record. And it was crazy, bro. When they showed that little clip, I was just like, damn, bro, Phoenix had a squad back in the day, man, with the Matrix, Amari, Steve Nash, bro. And they always had those role players like the Raja Bells, the Barbosas, Joe Johnsons. Man, yo, Phoenix, it's crazy how that early 2000s team never won a ring, bro, because that was a friggin' crazy team. And Amari was a monster back in the days, man. But, anyways, yeah, they tied that team 17 wins in a row. And it was crazy that they mentioned, too, Phoenix started the year 1-4, I think it was, or 1-3.
Well, the
However
first
many
game,
loss, however many losses they have, that's what they started. So it was like either 1-3 or yeah, it was 1-3. And then since then, bro, 17 straight. They haven't lost a game.
yeah, 1-3. Denver, Portland, and Sacramento. Sacramento, bro.
Yeah, man. Let's break
And
down this game real quick, bro.
but my bad, Portland destroyed them.
Yeah.
Portland beat them 134 to 105. They destroyed them.
Yeah, I remember looking at those two teams at the start of the season. I'm talking about Phoenix and Milwaukee because these are the two NBA Finals teams, and they both got off to a rocky start. But
Yeah.
Milwaukee, their rocky start lasted a little longer, and then Phoenix, bro, just 17 straight, man. Yo, they're legit, bro, and I think they're out to prove, bro, that because a lot of people were saying last year, and even myself included, I'm not gonna lie to you, that the finals trip was kind of a fluke. But I think like they didn't win the championship like the 2015 Warriors did. But you remember when the Warriors won the title in 2015 and everyone was saying, oh man, you only won because Kyrie Irving got injured, Kevin Love got injured. And then the Warriors were out to prove it next year and they won 24 straight. Like obviously
Yeah.
Phoenix didn't win the title, but they're playing like they're out to show that they're legit, bro, and that wasn't just a fluke last year because 18-3 start, 17 wins in a row. And a lot of these games they're dominating, bro. It's not like they're just squeaking them out. Like we mentioned in the last pod, that Nets game, the score didn't look as bad at the end, but Phoenix was up by like 20 at one point.
Yeah.
So yeah, man, they're playing incredible.
It's their defense, bro. Like to hold the Warriors down like that. It's that defense.
Yeah, I got some stats here that go for defense, man. They held the Warriors to 42% shooting as a team. Phoenix shot 49% as a team. I think it was like 49.1 if I'm not mistaken. And the one thing that really stood out, we just got to mention it, man, was Steph Curry, bro. Because they held him to 4 for 21 shooting, 3 for 14 from threes. This is the guy who's averaging about 28, I think a little more than 28 points a game on the season. They held him to 12 points, 3 rebounds, 2 assists. That's a pedestrian night for a guy who's at the top of the conversation for MVP. And it was basically Bridges and Jay Crowder, man. These dudes were hawking him, bro, in the paint, screens, hawking him, bro. And it was cool because in the last Phoenix Suns episode, we mentioned those two guys, man. Those are the two guys who like those like guys who bring that toughness, on defense for Phoenix.
Yeah, and like we said before, no Devin Booker. So it seems like if they had Devin Booker, it might have been even worse. I don't know. I saw like Aiton was kind of like dominating down low. That was a tough
100%.
thing.
The Warriors had no answer for 8 down low, bro. And it all looked super easy. It looked super easy. It looked like Shaq being guarded by like Todd McCullough type easy.
Bro, and even JaVale McGee, he went 4 for 4. He
All
didn't
right.
miss.
Yo, let's break it down, man. Cause I wanted to do that type of format where I was like dudes who stood out on the teams. I had JaVale McGee too, man. Break it down for JaVale McGee.
Yeah, he played 8 minutes, but he went 4 for 4 in those 8 minutes, scored 8 points. It's super efficient. There's like nothing more efficient than that. And I even remember there was a putback dunk that he had. Yeah, it started like bouncing all over, hit like the top of the backboard, and it came back down, and he put it back. And that was when I kind of felt like, yeah, the Suns kind of got like this, a little bit of the luck going too. Like how you get like a crazy putback like that. And I think I was texting you during the game that the Warriors were kind of getting lucky, getting a lot of second chance points. Like it seemed like every time they scored, it was like a long rebound, and then they got to shoot it again, and then they made the second shot. You know what I mean? So it's pretty much what I took from it.
Yeah, I kind of just want to stay on that topic for a little longer. So Aiton, this dude was 11 for 19 shooting on the game, finished the game with 24 points, 11 rebounds. A lot of that was in the paint, like point blank range. Draymond Green on him, Looney. There was a couple points where I even saw Steph Curry on 8 down low, and I'm like, yo, this is total mismatch. So there was
Which,
one
yeah,
in particular at the end. CP had the ball out at the 3 point line. Curry's right there with Aiton by the basket. Chris Paul's kind of like lulling him to sleep, just dribbling, and then he just like rocket passes it in there, and then Aiton just finishes it right at the rim, man. But they were feasting down low, and like it was kind of the whole game because Aiton started it off right. He was scoring a lot down in the post to start off the game. Then he goes to the bench, and then like we mentioned, JaVale McGee comes in and he just starts doing the same exact thing, man. 8 minutes, you said 8 points, 4 for 4, and all
yep.
of that was around the paint, bro. All of that was around the paint. Like you look at that, man. Between those two guys, you got 32 points on what is that? 15 for 23 shooting. That's
Yeah,
hella
super
efficient.
efficient. Yeah.
That's hella efficient. Hella efficient, man. Um, that was kind of like that was the thing that stood out the most for me in that game because even in the old Warriors episode, we mentioned how the only conventional center the Warriors are playing is Kevon Looney. And they've been kind of getting away with that, kind of like lack of size. But in this game, they got exposed, bro. They got exposed. It didn't look so bad because when I was looking at the game stats, the points in the paint wasn't that like they weren't that far off. I think Phoenix had like 4 more points in the paint, but it just looked like the big men were just dominating for Phoenix, man.
Yeah, I'm looking at it now. It says, yeah, 44 points in the paint for the Suns and 40 for the Warriors. You're right. But the turnovers, yeah, the Warriors had 10 more turnovers. It's a lot.
Yeah, the turnovers killed them, man. They
But that's
they were
part of the
just,
defense.
but I feel like some of it was honestly not even forced. I'm just like, yo, the Golden State's being kind of sloppy. I know Toscano Anderson had some where he just looked out of control. And I don't know. I'm not gonna get ahead of myself because I do feel like Golden State, this is gonna sound weird to say, but they look kind of off this game. Like Curry had a couple of airball threes. That was one in particular. I think it was in the first quarter. It was like the same exact spot, same exact 3-pointer on like back-to-back possessions. I think it was Steph Curry, airball, Otto Porter Jr., airball in the exact same fashion. It went over the rim.
Bro, I think Curry shot. I think he shot two air balls, right? Like there was another one that just went like directly straight down and straight out of
Yeah.
bounds.
Yeah. It was like from the top of the key, straight on, just
Yeah, that
airballed it.
was that was weird.
Yeah, man. Yo, let's finish up talking about the Phoenix guys. We mentioned Aiton, we mentioned JaVale McGee. Another guy I want to mention. Well, there's two more I want to mention. If you have anyone else, you can mention them, but these are the other two guys I had. Obviously, CP, when Devin Booker goes out, this is when having Chris Paul is great because this is the guy you say, okay, you're point guard, bro. Put the ball in your hand, control this game, control the pace, make the right decisions, and bring us home. Or at least do those two things, controlling the pace well enough that at the end of the game, we're right there and we still have a chance to pull it out. And CP delivered, bro. He's 7 for 13 shooting this game, 15 points, 11 assists, 6 rebounds. Like that's the double double, man. We talked about in the last Suns episode. We were like, yo, you got a double double average from your center Aiton and your point guard Chris Paul. That's a beautiful thing to have. And they did it this exact game. Aiton 24-11, CP 15 and 11.
Bro, I CP3 and also GP2 were both like at some point in the game took over.
Who's
Do you
GP2? Gary Payton?
Gary
Second?
Payne too. GP2, baby. Did you notice there was a point that GP2 scored, I think, like 6 straight points for the Warriors? And one of them was like a monster dunk.
Yeah.
That
I
was
remember
awesome,
that.
dude.
I remember that.
That dude is pretty cool to like see that he's on a team like the Warriors and he's got like his little role, like he plays good defense, like dunks it every once in a while, like high flyer style. And yeah,
He's
he
a
scored
hustle
like
dude,
six.
yo. He's a hustle dude.
Yeah, he did good, man.
Like you
And
love
then
those type of
CP3,
guys on your team, man. Those hustle guys, you love those type of dudes, man.
yeah, and CP3 took over too as well. He did his own little thing where he just started getting a lot of like those mid-range shots in
Yeah, he was
and
getting
then
to his
some nice
spots.
passes. Yeah, that was
He was
cool,
getting
man.
to his spots, bro. He had a couple of mid-range shots at the end. CP always does that thing where he kind of like he gets ahead of his man, right? He gets ahead of his man, cutting into the paint. And he's kind of like he just stays in front of him. He just stays in front of him. He keeps him behind him, and then he just shoots it. Like, have you ever noticed when CP does that?
Yeah, 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 for sure. I
Yeah, I'm
always
like,
like
why don't
that.
more players do that, man? Like, it works for CP. He makes it work so well. I don't know if it's he's strong or something. Other point guards can't do it.
No, yeah, I like that he's like more of like a physical point guard. Reminds you kind of a Chauncey Billups.
For sure. Him, J Kid
Chauncey
was
used
a
to do that.
strong ass point guard too.
Yeah.
J Kid was solid 6'4", like 215 for a point guard.
Yeah, there's all this talk about like Kemba being like kind of a liability and then he's shorter and all that. So yeah, man, these like CP3 is not the tallest guy, but he plays like a lot taller than he is.
Yeah, man. Yo, 15 and 11, man. That was great, bro. That's what you brought in there for. The last guy I want to mention for Phoenix is Jay Crowder. Because this guy was, man, to me, he was the X factor, especially at the end when Phoenix started pulling away. It was in particular 2 threes Jay Crowder hit. I think the Suns were up by 2, and that stretched it to 8. And Man, he was an X factor, bro. 5 for 11 shooting, 14.6 rebounds, shot 4 for 9 from three. So that's good, man. That's like, I don't know, like 40 something percent. That's solid. You'll take that any night. And like I
Yeah.
said, him and Bridges were just hawking Curry the whole night. So you got exactly what you wanted out of Jay Crowder on this night. 3 and D, just harassing the other team's best player. And in my opinion, like he was the X factor, man. I know Aiton and all of them, like they did what they were supposed to. But like I remember I was saying in the other episode, Crowder's he's kind of in a slump this year. His percentages are pretty bad, shooting wise
Yeah.
from three, just field goal overall. So 5 for 11, 4 for 9 from threes. You take that, man. And if he could do that more consistently for Phoenix, then they're just hella scary, bro. Hella scary.
Even that dude Landry Shaman, right? Like we thought he was kind of like just like a throw in, but he was playing pretty good yesterday, you know? And he's one of those guys that comes off the bench. Like Cam Johnson was doing his thing. Like it was just a team effort, man. This team's pretty deep. And obviously they have that experience for going to the finals. So I don't know. It seems like they have it all lined up now just to like make another trip to the finals if they stay healthy and all that stuff.
Yeah. So the way I wanted to break this down, like, both teams was I wanted to pick out like standout players and then guys who kind of disappointed. And with Phoenix, I honestly couldn't find anyone who disappointed. I kind of just had all standouts. Like, Mikal Bridges, his stat line wasn't that great. I think he was like 1 for 4 shooting. He had like 2 points. But this dude was playing defense like crazy, bro. So off of that
Yeah.
alone, you can't call him a disappointment because I think him holding or being a key part in holding Curry to 12 points might even be more valuable than him scoring like 15. Because not letting Curry get off, bro. And you know how that is. When Curry gets off, that changes everything, bro. Now you gotta start playing him differently. Now he starts finding the wide open man, and people just feed off of Curry when he starts to get hot. So I couldn't find anyone that was like a someone who didn't step up for Phoenix or like a disappointing performance. But for Golden State, I did. I did. I mentioned Curry. I
Yeah.
mentioned Curry. 4 for 21 shooting. That's not gonna get it done, man. And the other guy was Andrew Wiggins, man. He was
Wait.
4 for 12, 10 points, 3 rebounds, 2 assists. He looked like he kind of reverted to Minnesota Timberwolves, Andrew Wiggins. And combined, bro, Curry and Wiggins, 8 for 33 shooting, 24.2%. And it's kind of
Yeah.
crazy that with that horrible shooting, Golden State like didn't get routed.
Yeah, that was the thing like the TNT crew, like Shaq and all of them were talking about, that they pretty much had like probably the worst night they could possibly have offensively. And they still only lost by 8 points. So the this is kind of a nice transition. I don't know if it is or not, but basically they have a rematch. It's basically the next game for the Suns. No, the next game for the Warriors is against Phoenix again. So you literally have nobody else to like get back into a groove again or anything. But the Suns, they actually have a little chance to break their record before having to put it up on the line against the Warriors again. That's pretty cool, yo. They get to go against the Detroit Pistons, which should be an easy matchup tomorrow,
Yeah, they
9
should
p.m.
win that.
So if they win that, they break the record. They get 18 in a row. And then they get to put their 18 in a row up against the Golden State Warriors again on Friday, December 3rd. So that game is at Golden State. I don't think they're going to win it, especially without Devin Booker. If they do win it, this team is super legit. I think championship team right there. Like it's gonna be tough to beat them.
I agree 100%. If Golden State loses the one at home, the next time they meet up, then at that point you might have to start worrying a little bit. Like right now, I'm not worrying because, as you mentioned, bro, you look at Golden State, that the horrible shooting from Wiggins and Curry combined, along with them having what was it, 10 more turnovers than Phoenix.
Yep.
I don't know. I know Phoenix didn't have Booker, but like you said, Warriors don't have Klay Thompson, man. And eventually, you know, if everything goes according to plan, they will have these two guys back, and the playing field will be leveled. And yeah, I can't see Golden State playing this bad again, man. 23 turnovers and just 42% shooting. Curry 4 for 21. Like really think about that, man. 4 for 21, multiple air balls.
Well, I'm hyped for this game, man.
Yo,
Friday
but
can't come soon enough.
we talked about the bad guys, man. I just want to shout out the guys who actually did play good for Golden State. The one guy in particular who stood out was Jordan Poole. Once again,
Man,
this
Mr.
dude,
Consist.
9 for 15 shooting, 6 for 12 from threes, 28 points. And a lot of that, if you remember, he came out scorching, bro, in the first quarter. This dude's, I think he had like, I think he finished that quarter with like 4 threes or something like that. And the Warriors got off to a good start that game. They went up by like 10, I think, in the first or like early second, something like that. And it was because of Jordan Poole, man. This dude just came out guns blazing. So that's good, man. It's good that we keep mentioning him for the Warriors because he keeps this level of production up. Like you're waiting for that little 5 game period where he kind of slumps. I feel like a lot of young players have that. They have like this one little slump period and then they kind of just break out of it. But he hasn't really had that so far. Like another 20 plus point game. So that's great, man. That he played that great. And then the other guy was Otto Porter Jr., who they picked up in the offseason. He's 16 points, 4 for 8 from threes, 6 for 11 shooting. And honestly, I feel like Porter Jr., when I was watching that game, there was a couple of times where I'm like, yo, the Warriors look flat, bro. They look flat. It seemed like every single time they looked flat, Porter Jr. was there with a three, bro. So, like in my opinion, man, he was kind of keeping them in the game for a while. And combined, Poole and Porter Jr. 15 for 26, 57% shooting. That's like, what more do you want? 10 for 20 from threes from these two dudes combined. They showed up, man. They showed up. The Warriors, they got a lot of talent, bro. And just to reiterate, I can't see Curry going 4 for 21 again. So shouldn't really panic that much. But it's sweet that we
Yeah,
get this again in like 2 more games from now.
Yeah, one more game for the Warriors, basically a back to back, and then 2 games for the Suns. If the Suns somehow lose to the Pistons, this is gonna suck. It's gonna be terrible. It's gonna deflate everything, dude. So they better beat the Pistons. Sorry, Pistons fans. And yeah, they'll make it way better. But just like a little side note, because it just sounded so funny. You were like Poole and Porter Jr., Poole and Porter Jr. Like that sounded so funny. I had to look up Otto Porter, man. And guess what his nickname is?
Oh, that's the nickname segment. Let's get it. What his
Yeah, man.
nickname
What's
is?
his nickname?
Otto Porter
Yeah,
Jr.
guess.
Well, look, I'm gonna tell you something funny. I was watching the
Uh,
game at my fiance's house. I was watching it with her mom because she what? No, I,
no, this is just I. It would be so funny if you actually guess this right.
I was watching it at her house because her mom, she's an elderly Filipino woman. And yo, real quick, man, shout out to the Philippines, bro, because I was looking at our YouTube analytics, and I think our second, like the country that we get the second most views in is the Philippines. So shout out to the Philippines. I know you guys are crazy about your basketball. But my fiance's mom, she's an elderly Filipino woman. I'm not gonna say her age, but just know she's elderly, right? She doesn't know basketball like that. But what she does know is that she loves her some Steph Curry, she loves her some Klay Thompson, and she loves her Golden State Warriors. And her enemy number one right now is Kevin Durant. She hates Kevin Durant because he left the Warriors, right? And bro, watching this game, I was watching it with her, right? Because when the Warriors are on, she's tuning in unless like she really just can't. Anytime they showed Otto Porter Jr., she said, "Look, it's Lionel Richie." So I don't know, man. Is it Lionel Richie?
That was better than I expected. Oh man.
Yo, she's like, look,
It's
look,
Lionel Richie.
Lionel Richie. And then I opened up Google, man, and then I put it in Google, right? Lionel Richie, Otto Porter Jr., bro. And there's literally memes, bro. The
Oh
comparison
shit.
is good, man.
That's a good one.
It's
Oh
good.
man. No,
I
his
remember.
nickname.
Okay,
Yeah.
yeah, good.
What one of his nicknames is just oh,
There you go. Oh,
and then the other one, I don't know where it comes from, bro. The other one is Bubba.
never heard anyone address Otto Porter Jr. as Bubba.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Hey, Bubba. Yo, people say that to you like when they're kind of not really being disrespectful, but they don't know your name. They just hey bub, hey Bubba.
Yeah, man.
But yeah, man, I think O is good. Let's just keep it to O. It passes it to O. All
Yeah,
right.
but predictions real quick. You said the next time they match up, you see Golden State winning it. They're gonna hold it down at home against Phoenix whenever that
I
next game is.
I think they come out like with a little bit of a chip on their shoulder. You got to come out. You got to make some shots. Can't turn the ball over like that. You're in front of your home crowd, home court advantage, home field advantage, whatever you want to call it. They're there. I don't think they're gonna go that bad. But if somehow Devin Booker can make it back to this game, it's gonna be a game. But if he's out, Golden State should destroy them. And I mean like by like 15, 20 points. That's all
That
I got
might
to say.
that might be hot take. That might be hot take.
It might be it might be, but whatever, man. If Devin Booker's not playing, Golden State's at home. They're angry because they just got beat up
Oh, if
in
Devin Booker's
Phoenix.
not playing, then yeah.
Yeah, if Devin Booker's not playing, 15 to 20 point victory for the Warriors.
And real quick, I want to get your prediction on this one. Next game against Detroit, does Phoenix set the record or not?
Yeah, Phoenix wins that game.
Yeah, I agree. I agree. Detroit, they're not that great. Detroit's just gonna be playing spoilers. They're just gonna want to like not have them set the record.
Yeah,
But I don't know. I think Phoenix has, even if they don't have Booker against Detroit, I think they'll still have enough talent to just push past Detroit. I think they will get that record. And I
yeah,
also do agree with you. I think Golden State is gonna beat Phoenix the next time they meet up in Oakland. And like you said, bro, like the Warriors have a crazy, their fan base is legit, man. I do think like there's some NBA teams that I'm like, yeah, like, technically you have home court advantage, but like, is it even really like that? Right. And I have the transition perfect for this, right? But I'm gonna say it again and then transition. And also I think Curry, bro, I think he's gonna use that as a statement game, bro. You think that he's just gonna be okay with this 4 for 21 and not come and bring it to the Suns the next time they meet up? I think he's gonna make a statement that game.